Goodwill brings to you the weekly share market update dated the 6th of April, 2024. Talking about the corporate segment, we have shares of Globus Spirits jumped around 11% on April 1st after the company informed that it has commenced commercial production of additional capacity at two of its existing units at Singhbhum in Jharkhand and at Burdwan in West Bengal. With this expansion, the capacity of the units increased from 140 KLPD kiloliters per day to 200 KLPD at Jharkhand and from 240 KLPD to 300 KLPD at West Bengal. The additional capacity will be used for various products, including ENA and ethanol. The expansion has been completed with a total investment of 142 rupees crore, the company informed. Shares of GM Breweries jumped 12% in trade on April 1st after the company's board said it will consider a proposal for issuing bonus shares in its April 4th meeting. The company will consider the issuance of bonus shares after 6 years. Earlier, bonus shares were issued in the ratio of 1:4 in 2018, 2016, and 2014. A bonus issue is an offer given to existing shareholders of the company to subscribe for additional shares. The number of shares increases, but the value of the investment remains the same. The board will also consider and take on record the audited financial results for the quarter and the year ended March 31st, 2024. Additionally, the board of directors will also consider declaring a dividend. Shares of CAMS rallied over 6% around midday after it was reported that the company will manage the issuance of all digital insurance policies. In an exchange filing on April 2nd, CAMS said that the IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, has mandated the issuance of insurance policies by insurance companies in electronic form with effect from April 1st. CAMS Insurance Repository Services Limited, which is an IRDAI-registered insurance repository, will be facilitating the issuance of policies in the electronic mode. CAMS Rep is a wholly owned subsidiary of CAMS and is the second largest repository in the country. Shares of Aditya Birla Capital gained over 9% in morning trades on April 2nd, a day after brokerage Macquarie initiated coverage on the NBFC with an outperform call and a target price of 230 rupees. According to the brokerage, Aditya Birla Capital is poised for show strong growth in loans and earnings driven by both its lending, NBFC and HFC, and savings, life insurance, businesses over the next several years. ABCL has the advantage of strong parentage, availability of a large group ecosystem and diversified distribution mix to facilitate robust loan and APE growth higher than peers and average of listed peers. Shares of National Aluminium Company bucked the market trend on April 3rd, rising over 5% to a record high of 176.25 rupees on a volume surge. So far in the day, for crore Nalco shares have changed hands on BSE and NSE combined, higher than 1 week and 1 month average trading volume of 1 crore and 2 crore shares, respectively. The rally comes after the state-owned firm said it clocked the highest ever cast metal production of 4.63 lakh metric tons in financial year 2024. Nalco also achieved the highest ever bauxite excavation of 76 lakh metric tons and highest ever metal sale of 4.70 lakh metric tons, surpassing all previous records since inception. In FY24, the company also added a new aluminium alloy ingot, AL59, to its product range. Gensol Engineering shares were locked at the 5% upper circuit early on April 3rd after the company announced that it has clocked the highest ever revenue from operations, surpassing 960 rupees crore. This was a growth of over 141% over 398 rupees crore recorded last fiscal, the company said in a press release. Gensol Engineering recently announced on bourses that its subsidiary Scorpio Trackers has achieved another major milestone. Scorpio Trackers, a leading solar tracking technology company, reached 1,000 MW plus in contracted orders across India, Japan, Saudi Arabia, and Uganda. The company's client portfolio includes Renew, Hero Future, Sharp GE, Tata Power, Engine, Sterling Wilson, Azure Power, and Kosal Energy. Shares of GM Breweries tanked over 5% in afternoon trade on April 4th after the company reported a sharp decline in its EBITDA margin for the fourth quarter of financial year 2024. The company's operating margin in the January-March quarter contracted to 15.8%, sharply down from 20.1% a year ago. The drag on the company's operational performance was on account of higher expenses related to changes in inventories. The company's net profit for the quarter came at 86.6 rupees crore, up from 35.1 rupees crore a year ago, and revenue rose a marginal 2.1% on year to 159.20 rupees crore, as against 155.90 rupees crore a year ago. Shares of Anil Agarwal-led Vedanta Limited rose around 3% to a 52-week high of 312.50 rupees on the NSE after delivering the highest ever annual volume across key businesses. So far in the day, a total of 1 crore Vedanta shares changed hands on the BSE and the NSE combined, compared to the one-week average trading volume of 96 lakh shares. In quarter for financial year 2024, Vedanta's aluminium business recorded an 18% surge in volumes at the Lanjagai unit over the last year. The unit is in focus since Vedanta expanded its refining capacity to 3.5 MTPA. Shares of food delivery and quick commerce company Zomato rose 2% in trade to scale a record high of 191.80 rupees as it neared the Rs 200 mark. Expectations of strong growth in quarter 4, driven by robust performances of the food delivery as well as Blinkit business, have been the triggers behind the spike in Zomato's share price. Kotak Institutional Equities also shares a similar view, as the firm also anticipates a strong performance from the online food delivery company in the fourth quarter of financial year 2024. Analysts at the firm project a 25% year-on-year growth in food delivery gross merchandise value and an impressive 99% on-year growth in Blinkit GMV. Shares of Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited jumped around 11% on high volumes on April 5. The sharp rally comes after the BSE revised the circuit filter for the company upwards from 5%, and the revised price band came into effect on the day. The IRADA shares will now have a circuit filter of 20%, meaning they can rise or fall to a maximum extent of 20% for a trading session. Note that after hitting the circuit limit in either direction, trading in the stock is halted, depending upon the time at which the stock hits the circuit. Manoli Petrochemicals Limited has moved up by 28.74% this week, with a change of 16.15 points. It has traded with a net volume of 12.657 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 72.35 against the previous closing price of 56.2. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 67.25, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 73.40 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 52.49. Jaiprakash Power Ventures Limited has moved up by 26.89% this week, with a change of 4.10 points. It has traded with a net volume of 111.791 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 19.35 against the previous closing price of 15.25. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 17.40, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 19.35 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 61.86. Ramki Infrastructure Limited has moved up by 26.4% this week, with a change of 128.25 points. It has traded with a net volume of 2.588 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 614.05 against the previous closing price of 485.8. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 581.51, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 643.40 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 49.46. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank Limited has moved up by 26.19% this week, with a change of 11.60 points. It has traded with a net volume of 130.119 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 55.9 against the previous closing price of 44.3. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 51.4, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 56 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 55.71. Nifty is currently in positive trend. If you are holding long positions, then continue to hold with daily closing stop loss of 22,265. Fresh short positions can be initiated if Nifty closes below 22,265 levels. Nifty support levels are 22,448, 22,383 and 22,338. Nifty resistance levels are 22,558, 22,603 and 22,668. Bank Nifty is currently in positive trend. If you are holding long positions, then continue to hold with daily closing stop loss of 47,683. Fresh short positions can be initiated if Bank Nifty closes below 47,683 levels. Bank Nifty support levels are 48,073, 47,652 and 47,410. Bank Nifty resistance levels are 48,735, 48,978 and 49,398.
You can reach us via phone, WhatsApp, or email using the information listed on the screen. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more financial insights. And, as always, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future videos, leave them in the comments section below. Until next time, happy investing.